Hey, what's up, guys? Lance, the Obscure Movie Guy, coming to you again with another video. Things that you should be watching in midst of everything else going on in the world. And today we are going to focus on the world as we go over 3 foreign films that everybody should be watching. And we're going to start off with 2001's Wasabi, starring Jean Reno and Ryoko Hirosue from Japan. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong, but what can I say? Fun movie, 2001. Jean Reno plays a grizzled old cop, middle-aged cop, and has Jean Reno ever not played somebody middle-aged? I mean, even a young Jean Reno looks like he's in his 40s. But plays a cop who, at the beginning of the movie, is in a nightclub trying to arrest somebody, and has methods are a little bit unorthodox, a little aggressive, a little violent. Ends up, hitting some patrons in the process. One of those patrons being the police chief's son. And in the midst of that, Jean Reno's character is subsequently put on paid leave. It is during this time that he gets summoned to Japan from a lawyer to go there in midst of a will from a lady 19 years prior that he fell in love with, and unbeknownst to him had a daughter, and he is now left in charge of this 19-year-old girl who is on the run from the Yakuza, the Japanese mafia, for those that don't know what the Yakuza is. And it's a bit campy, it's a little bit funny, it's a little violent, but there's a fun relationship there between Jean Reno and this 19-year-old girl. That's his estranged daughter. The movie does flip-flop back and forth between comedy and violence, often on a whim. And, it's kind of hard to keep up with the storyline between the action sequences. These foreign films you actually have to read in order to watch what's going on. There isn't like an English subtitle, or there's English subtitles, but there's not an English, dub for these movies, at least not the ones that I watched. But a lot of fun to watch. Kind of hit and miss with the critics. Didn't do real well. It made like $18 million on a $10 million budget, but it was, I think Roger Ebert gave it like 1.5 stars or something like that. So, or maybe it was one. I guess you can't do 1.5 thumbs up, but it was like 1.5 stars. So, it wasn't a real big hit with the critics, but I thought it was entertaining enough. The next one we're going to talk about is also a French film. It's called District B13, starring Cyril Rafaelli, which some of you guys would actually recognize as one of the twins from Jet Li's Kiss of the Dragon, or he was more notably in Bruce Willis's Live Free or Die Hard. Most notably, he's like the gunner in the helicopter when Bruce Lee ramps the police car out of the tunnel and into the helicopter, and he's the blonde-haired guy. He's an action star in France. He's a stunt coordinator. He's a stunt man. Dude is pretty badass, actually. He's also a martial artist. Really cool movie. Sometime in the future, Paris, their crime gets out of control, and the city is separated into districts. And District B13 is the worst of them. It's walled off, barbed wire, nobody in, nobody out. There's no police protection. The gangs basically have to survive on their own inside. And again, trying to read in between the lines. But Cyril plays an undercover cop who has to team up with David Belle, who's another stunt guy, to find and defuse a nuclear bomb that's set to go off in 24 hours and save David Belle's sister, I think, in the movie. But the movie wasn't about the story. The movie is really about the action sequences and parkour, which is, the guys that run and jump over objects, building to building, up flights of stairs, stuff that Jackie Chan really, started back in the, late 80s, early 90s with a lot of his crazy stunts, and it turned into this big phenomenon, especially over in Europe. So parkour is really what the movie kind of focuses around. The action sequences are amazing. And really, that's what the movie's about, and that's worth the watch itself. You don't even really need to keep up with the story, but the fight scenes and the parkour scenes are a lot of fun to watch. Rather successful. It was about a $10 million budget, I think is what they averaged it out to be. Made like $13 million in the box office. I actually own the DVD, so a lot of fun to watch. And then the last one I found on YouTube. Now, I saw the trailer for this a couple years ago, and I actually did find the movie in the YouTube free movie section, and it's called Guardians. And no, it's got nothing to do with Guardians of the Galaxy, but it is kind of a superhero type film. Came out 2017. It's a Russian film. And from what I can gather, back during like World War II, there was a scientist that started messing around with, human DNA, genomes, something of that nature, to try and make super soldiers. Program got scrapped because of, something happened, people died. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It was actually kind of hard to find some information on this movie. It just didn't do well for some reason with the Russians. But anyways, years later, somebody picks up, that whole working with people's DNA and stuff, and kept running with the ball, and made like some super soldiers of his own. And now this dude's trying to make like his own army of super soldiers and take over the world. Seems, superhero enough, super villain enough, if you will. There was a few guys left over from the program that all went about their separate ways after the incident in World War II or whatever. I think some of them seem kind of young, but you got one guy that controls like earth and rock. You got another guy that this one guy can like teleport like real quickly. He carries these big ass like swords and cuts people in half. He's pretty cool. There's a dude that turns to like a man bear. Not quite a man bear pig for you South Park fans out there, but a man bear. And then there's a girl that can like turn herself invisible and like turn her body into like water and get around that way. But anyways, they team up to take out this other guy trying to take over the world and make these super soldiers. And it was a pretty cool movie, actually. I mean, it's definitely a superhero type movie. These guys have abilities. The CGI was done really well. The action sequences are done really well. I don't know why it was such not a hit, really. I mean, the thing had like $15 million budget, but it only made like $8 million in the theaters or something like that. So I don't know why it wasn't such a hit. I mean, it's definitely, it's a typical superhero movie. I mean, watching the Avengers, I mean, there's a huge battle at the end, in a city, lots of shit blowing up, and maybe the story was a little convoluted, which I could definitely get, especially if you have to read it and try and keep up with the massive action sequences that's going on in this film. But not that bad. It's worth the watch. It's on YouTube. It's free. Why not? If you can watch a free movie, do it. Take your mind off of some of the bullcrap going on in the world. So that's my take today. Like, subscribe, and comment to the YouTube channel. You can also check out, I've started a playlist on my YouTube channel of the movies that I've talked about, trying to find like the trailers for each of those movies. So you guys can go in there and check out the trailer for the movie that I've talked about, and see if it's worth a watch or not. I think they're all worth a watch. But like, subscribe, comment, share the video with your friends. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.